Hello everyone, this is Ross from RetroDreamBeam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Netta for more than 3 years now. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we're shipping out today on Friday. Also, real quick everyone, I'm going to try something new with the channel. I made a new email so people can send a 1-minute question in either video or audio format, and I'll choose one to answer it on my videos. I'll probably do one on Monday if I get enough submissions, if I get a submission. So I'm going to put the email in the description. It's going to be retrodreambeamqa for question and answer at gmail.com. That is retrodreambeamqa@gmail.com. Looking forward to answering some stuff. It might be like a weekly thing or maybe every video. We'll see. All right, looking forward to any of your questions about like eBay, collectibles, yeah, I guess just like eBay, collectibles, reselling, stuff like that, and I'll try to answer it. Completely forgot it was Friday. The whole week got like ahead of me, so I guess that's fine. Nothing too special there. I keep forgetting the days. It's just like, you know, the same thing over and over again. We have average amount of sales, but way better than lower sales, so I'm actually just super excited about that. All right, couple interesting different things too. All right, the first one is going to be this right here. White Wolf Quarterly. This is gonna be some kind of like RPG magazine that must have been like given out on like one of those free RPG days. It's also double-sided, so it has this insider. I've sold stuff like this before. This one ended up going for $10.80 plus shipping. Everything's gonna be plus shipping. All right, moving along, we have this Company B labeled IJA motorcycle. It's gonna be a infantry or person on top of a motorcycle metal miniature. Sorry, the baggie is like super dirty, so I can't show you guys. And then technically the inside baggie is also like sealed up. So I did my best taking pictures of like the motorcycle and then the figure on it and then like its scale, because people care about the scale, like the millimeters and inches, so they can match whatever RPG or war game they're doing. This ended up selling for $15.99. Whenever I get these like unique types of miniatures where there's basically like very little to none in eBay, sometimes I'll price them up. And then also I don't see motorcycles too much. I know there's a bunch in like I think Warhammer 40K, but outside of that, whenever I get like specific like vehicles and stuff, I like to price them up because people are going to be looking for them for RPGs and such. All right, next up, it's been a little bit since I sold one of my book lots. I get a bunch of books. Sometimes I'll just do them separately, and then other times I'll make lots. So I made this like vintage Halloween lot. I made it a long time ago. They're not like all 100% Halloween, but they all have kind of like a spooky feel to it. So we have Seeing Eye, Strength of Stones, the Janus Mask, and then we also had the Bristling Wood, and then there was the other one was I think Murder for Halloween and October Moon. Those two were definitely Halloween themed. They just happen to be right here, so I can't read the side. I had to check it here, but yeah, $13 for that. So like I said, nothing too fancy. We got books cheap multiple times in different places, so I like selling them, and I'm glad someone's going to read them and appreciate them. They like the Halloween keyword. I was like, oh, I don't even remember doing that, like putting Halloween as a keyword. I guess I did. All right, speaking of Halloween, moving along, we have this right here. This is going to be 1d6 by Fantasy Flight Games. This is an Arkham Horror board game cursed die right here. Fantasy Flight Games will make like miniature games and board games, and sometimes they'll make these accessory packs. I've talked about the sleeves before. The sleeves, so they'll make a little bit and then they go out of print, and then people want to, you know, they're playing their Magic deck and then their sleeves rip, and then they want to match their deck with their correct sleeve so they're not cheating in the game. So then they look up and then they end up being higher priced because they're not around anymore, or the supply was low. Same thing with the dice for these specific games. This singular cursed die ended up going for $14.99 for one board game die. So usually you have to buy packs of 6 or 10, and they can get pretty expensive, and people usually want like or not usually, it's just sometimes someone will want the specific one designed and themed towards the board game. They want to get into the mood of it. So that just happened to sell a lot for a die. That is probably more than I got for like a singular die. I do a lot better, obviously, when I get like the full kit of dice for these board games and miniature games, because people want the full kit. All right, next up is going to be this. This has been a long time since we've sold something like this. We would get like the CDs, blank ones that you can like record over. This is a Sony VHS tape right here. We think physical media is going to get more and more popular and sell for more and more as time goes on, as digital platforms and streaming take away stuff from people. People are going to be like, oh, I could just buy it physical and then it can't be taken away from me. I guess someone could steal it in real life, but knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen. But yeah, $8.99 for this blank one. Yeah, I remember this was like first month or so when we were getting into the reselling world. We saw other people do that stuff online, so then we followed suit, and then
yeah, we ended up selling a bunch of these. We also done like floppy disks with different stuff on it. A lot of cool different physical media categories, CDs. All right, I like it a lot, and I'm glad someone's going to appreciate it. All right, next up is going to be these fantastic miniatures. BV6 is the label, so I couldn't figure out what exactly these are. I think Napoleonics, yeah, Napoleonics, some kind of they're 15 millimeter miniatures. I sold like $400-500 of these maybe a couple months ago. I remember they were like sitting in a bin. I listed like 75% of them, and then like a week or two later, and I was like, oh, you should list the rest. I'm like, oh, I have most of the particular, like the same figures already. She's like, no, list them all. And I listed them all, and we end up getting more and more sales from it. So it was a good call by her. But yeah, $15.83 for this pack of 8. This one was interesting because I was looking up a bunch of different miniatures I was listing yesterday, and I found a bunch of good like websites to identify like miniatures and stuff. I think it's called like Lost Wiki Mini or Lost Minis Wiki or something. Then you can like type in brands, and if you click enough on the websites and read up on it, you can eventually figure out like the official names for them. So I wish I rethought of that website when I was listing these like a few months ago. So I would have been able to properly identify them. But people like the Napoleonic stuff. I just keep selling it, and people are into it. All right. Last thing for the day right here, board game. This is just the empty box, so someone's going to use this as a replacement for probably their mushed one or their one with like, water damage and stuff like that. This is Gunslinger, Game of Western Gunfights. Really cool cover arts right here with the little like bar in the village in the back, and then like there's a duel here with someone who's victorious. Avalon Hill bookcase game right here. But yeah, like I said, these boxes, people are probably going to want to replace them if the corners are good and these corners are good. And if they like, stack these games high up, they're not like modern board games where they're kind of designed to be stacked a little bit more, kind of, where these ones will get mushed. So yeah, do pretty well selling the empty boxes for these old games. $15 for this one. So it probably goes for a lot more. I never seen this one. So complete or incomplete, like this is the first time I saw it. All right. So that's everything. Nothing too fancy going on. Might be going live sometime soon today, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. We'll see how my setup is. I need to do a little bit of organizing with all the other inventory and stuff I need to get ready to list, and then all the bins out here. I have to get just stuff organized and cleaned. All right. I hope everyone has a good weekend. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to help support us. Take a look at our links down below.